Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. We're coming to you live from the beautiful Bank of New Hampshire stage in downtown Concord, New Hampshire. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'd like to say hello to our truly remarkable award recipients. My name is Gretchen Stallings, and I'm the Executive Director of Volunteer New Hampshire. Tonight, I'm honored to kick off the 2022 Spirit of New Hampshire Awards, where we will showcase some of our state's most dedicated volunteers and volunteer initiatives. We're excited to be joined by many of our award recipients this evening in the House to honor them live and in person. Thank you so much, Concord TV, for providing a live stream for anyone who wasn't able to make it here in person to watch from the comfort of their own home. And I understand that I have a greeting from Senator Jeanne Shaheen, and I'd like to read that for you all now. Dear friends, I wish I could join you all at the annual Spirit of New Hampshire Awards ceremony. This event is a wonderful opportunity to salute New Hampshire's stalwart volunteers and celebrate their impact in communities across the Granite State. Thank you to everyone here tonight for bringing your energy, your enthusiasm, and your leadership to so many important endeavors in our great state. I've always believed strongly in the power of service. One of my favorite quotes comes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who observed that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. We've seen this greatness and this commitment to lifting up others emerge in some of the most trying times in our country's history. With your compassion and your hard work, you're helping to write the next chapter of American citizens rising to meet both extraordinary and everyday challenges. You offer counsel and assistance to your neighbors in their time of need, help to break the cycle of poverty, guide young students to realize their full potential, and so much more. The future of New Hampshire is brighter because of the selfless leaders like all of you. When I think of Volunteer New Hampshire and its Spirit of New Hampshire Award winners, I'm filled with gratitude and hope. I'm reminded of the power that a single act of kindness can have on an individual, and when combined, how far these acts can ripple throughout the Granite State. It's inspiring to hear how these unsung heroes have committed themselves to service and giving back to the community. I know tonight's well-deserved recognition will only encourage them to continue their meaningful work. Congratulations to this year's honorees. My best wishes to you all in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Jeanne Shaheen, United States Senator. Before we get started, I just want to share a little bit about Volunteer New Hampshire for those of you who are just getting to know us. Volunteer New Hampshire envisions our state as a place where people volunteer together to build strong and connected communities. We bring our vision to life by engaging those communities to solve local challenges through volunteerism. Our activities include stewarding federal AmeriCorps resources to AmeriCorps programs and nonprofit organizations so that they can tackle our nation's most pressing challenges right here in New Hampshire. Providing training and resources to nonprofits and individual volunteers through the Volunteer Resource Center housed on our website and our annual Governor's Conference on Volunteerism. Promoting volunteer opportunities to people across the state through Get Connected, our online volunteer match database, and Serve, Learn, Earn, our online database for AmeriCorps service opportunities. And celebrating the volunteers and volunteer champions that work to strengthen their communities with events like this one this evening. And now it's my sincere pleasure to turn it over to Steve Epstein, Chairman of the Volunteer New Hampshire Board of Directors, to give an overview of what this evening will look like.
Thank you, Gretchen, and thank you to everyone in our virtual audience for tuning in. And thank you to all of you. Over the next hour and a half, we'll be highlighting award recipients across 5 categories, celebrating volunteer accomplishments across a wide range of focus areas. Award recipients will be called on stage to receive their certificates. I'd like to acknowledge all of our sponsors, including our Trailblazer sponsors, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation, and DCU Federal Credit Union. We are so thankful for the support they provide. We'd also like to express our gratitude to Concord TV for generously providing their live streaming services free of charge for this special event. Concord TV is a nonprofit organization that produces and cablecasts public interest, cultural education, and government programs on channels 6, 17, and 22. This program is streaming to YouTube right now for our viewers online and will be made available to watch after the event is over. Now it is my sincere pleasure to turn it over to our MCs, Nazi Naz and Marissa of 98.3 Frank FM.
All right, welcome. How's everybody feeling tonight? Are we good? All right, I'm Nazi, and this is Marissa from Frank FM. And before we get going, right off the bat, Marissa and I would both like to apologize if we butcher anybody's name tonight. It's going to happen. Guarantee it's going to happen. Just smile and move on with that, okay? And before we really get going, too, everything that's happening here tonight, this is something that Marissa and I really believe in. We believe in serving the community and giving back, and we are just humbled by everybody here tonight. So thank you so much for having us. You want to say anything? Okay. All right, let's get going. So I have been involved in this event for several years, and I'm thrilled to be back again in person. This is almost weird, Gretchen, that we're here in person doing this. And we're going to honor 64 generous individuals, groups, and organizations who have dedicated their time and talents to giving back to their communities in this past year of 2022. Now, before we get started, there's still time to vote for your favorite awardee to win this year's People's Choice Award. You can visit volunteernh.org for the link. Voting closes promptly at 7 p.m. And don't forget, the winner will be announced live right here at the end of the event. So the power is in your hands. Now, we will be honoring all awardees this evening by calling them up to the stage one by one to recognize their achievements. And we'll be kicking things off tonight with the Volunteer Champion category. Now, the Volunteer Champion category recognizes nonprofit or public service organizations who manage excellent volunteer programs. Now I'm going to invite to the stage representatives from our winning organizations. First up is Adaptive Sports Partners of the North Country, who mobilize their volunteers to make recreation accessible to athletes with disabilities. Canine Companions is a nonprofit with chapters nationwide, including right here in the Granite State, and volunteers help in all areas of the operation, including raising the service dogs. We've been upstaged, right? Now, you may have seen these volunteers in their Green Fest before. Granite State ambassadors send volunteers out into the community to educate about and promote the state of New Hampshire. That's a good dog. The International Nepalese Literary Society is a volunteer volunteer-led nonprofit supporting Nepalese and Indian community members by promoting civic engagement and literacy. Less Leg, More Heart volunteers are committed to spreading hope, decreasing suffering, and enhancing the lives of people within the amputee community. The Newmarket Historical Society has brought historical perspective to the town of Newmarket, volunteers have worked tirelessly on research, publication, and education on Newmarket's past. The Peace of Mind Medicaid consultant does just that, brings peace of mind to the elderly and disabled adults when it comes to the challenging task of navigating the New Hampshire Medicaid Assistance Program. Portsmouth Naval Shipyard's STEM outreach program is supported by hundreds of volunteers going to local schools and after-school programs, providing valuable STEM education. And finally, without further ado, our outstanding winner in the volunteer champion category is SCORE New Hampshire, SCORE NH. SCORE volunteers work tirelessly supporting small business owners across the state. Let's hear what they have to say about their work.
I'm Dick Verreck. I'm a volunteer with the Merrimack Valley chapter of SCORE, and I nominated SCORE New Hampshire for this award. SCORE New Hampshire is located all over the state. We have about 100 volunteers, and they work from wherever they happen to live, and that is all over the state. We have two chapters, one in the Seacoast and one in Merrimack Valley, and between those two chapters, we with all of those 100 volunteers, we're able to reach people no matter where they are. Last year, our SCORE New Hampshire, between the current volunteers that we have, helped about almost 1,000 new businesses get started, in addition to mentoring sessions with over 2,000 existing clients.
My name is Heather Turner. I am a certified SCORE mentor, and I am the co-chapter chair of Merrimack Valley SCORE. The role of a SCORE mentor is someone as a support system, and that means we help people get over the humps and out of the lows that sometimes get into starting a business. You know, we talk to a lot of people that have aspiring dreams of starting their own businesses and being their own boss, which is fantastic. But a lot of people don't really realize that there's an enormous amount of work that goes into that. So we're here to help them get through that. In terms of how our volunteers involved and what activities do they do, we have mentors that do direct mentoring. We have co-mentors. We do have people called SMEs, or subject matter experts. We have volunteers that help with events, workshop presenters, workshop co-hosts. I could probably be on for another half an hour talking about all the different opportunities that SCORE offers.
Where do most of our volunteers come from? They actually come from two different sources. One source is retirees, and another source is current business owners. I guarantee you, the resources that SCORE has available to help and through the vetting process is just unbelievable. And I feel like right now, I know more about running a business than I did in 30 years with a Fortune 500 company.
Hi, my name is Susan Lanfear, and I am a client of SCORE New Hampshire. Well, I started my business about 10 years ago, and I have 25 years or more. I don't really want to tell you how much experience I have a lot of experience in research and development. So it was easy for me to kind of work in the chemistry area and to come up with products and things like that. And I had no problem with that. Even as far as like packaging and doing some of the marketing, I was like really good at that. But when it came time to actually running the business, it was like, I thought I knew things, but I didn't know as much as I needed to know. I contacted them. So I thought I knew what I was doing and things like that. And they came in and asked a lot of questions. And some of the answers I didn't know. Here's my business, and I didn't have answers to these questions. So they gave me homework, which I thought was like, okay. But with that homework, they helped me to understand my business. They helped me to understand and to become more of an expert as to what I was doing.
You know, typically in a typical year, there are about 6,000 new small businesses are open in this state. Just in our state. And we'd like to be able to reach more of them, but to do that, we need more volunteers. And through that, we can reach more business owners, particularly in the minority communities in the state. That are many of them and growing. We really would like to reach out to our minority, either as clients or mentors.
To speak to Dick saying we need more mentors, I would say become a mentor because it's probably the best thing you're going to do for yourself in your life to be able to help other people. So I have definitely found that, especially I think it kept me sane during COVID for sure.
Sincerity of it all is really the most important thing, you know. I mean, when they're going in there, it's no one's getting paid to do this, but there's a genuine interest and a genuine concern that they want to help you. And I just think that's wonderful. You know, in a day and age where everything costs something, you know what I mean? SCORE is there and they really mean it. I mean, you know, it's genuine. It really is.
Let's hear it for SCORE New Hampshire. And Gretchen, I've got to say, this is amazing. This technology that we have this year is just outstanding. All right, I'd like to turn it over to Marissa, and she has the recipients in our adult category as we recognize volunteers aged 23 to 64.
Let me adjust the mic. There's a bit of a height difference here. Okay. Denise Castonguay, president of Plymouth chapter of the Rotary Club. Pam Glattenberg, a volunteer with the youth in the Merrimack County 4-H for 32 years. Dr. Pat Edwards, who still finds time to volunteer with Girl Scouts of the Green and White Mountains while running her pediatric practice.
What's your name? Denise.
Yeah.
You get to walk twice. Congratulations. There you go. She's back.
Sarah Gardner, a 27-year-old volunteer with Merrimack 4-H and an advisor to the statewide agriculture ambassadors. Kaylee Green, who serves on the board of Concord Young Professional Networks, also gives her time to the Boy Scouts, Daniel Webster Council, and Friendly Kitchen in Concord. James Griffin, who steps up wherever needed in his service to the New Hampshire Teen Institute. Deborah Cates, mentor, leader, and trip coordinator for the Girl Scouts of Green and White Mountains. Donna Kimball, who perseveres through any challenge her work presents to her at the Peace of Mind Medicaid Consultants. Barry Lynn Scott, a volunteer who always wears a smile when serving at Goodwin Community Health Center. Todd Lloyd, builder of not only homes, but of relationships among fellow volunteers and those he serves through Cover Home Repair. Jim McKenna, devoted and caring hospice volunteer at Cornerstone VNA.
He's got a fan.
Paul Miles, who makes children's dream come true at Make-A-Wish NH. Adam O'Kane, a mentor with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of New Hampshire. Dave Phelps, project manager for a duplex build this year through the Greater Nashua Habitat for Humanity. Emily Riker, a compassionate and caring big sister through Big Brothers, Big Sisters of NH. Jean Salman, leader of 3 troops for Girl Scouts of the Green and White Mountains. Chris Turner, who does it all at the Rochester Share Fun Food Pantry, including their mobile pop-up pantries. Majorie Wolfson, 10-year volunteer who fills all roles necessary at the Music Hall in Portsmouth. Now for our outstanding winner in the adult category. Ed Dewar. Ed, inspired by the volunteer service of his father, has been a longtime volunteer with the Hillsborough County Meals on Wheels. Let's see what Ed has to say.
My name is Ed Dewar. I'm from Merrimack, New Hampshire. I volunteer with the Hillsborough County Meals on Wheels. I've been doing it for a while. I'd been working rotating shifts at work, so I was able to take time off in the middle of the week and do this. The people that you meet over the years, it's really something else. You know, most of them are, yes, quite old, and you just think about what they've lived through. It's just, seeing the people, helping these people out after they've given back so much to the community and society. It's not just delivering meals. We go in and talking to people. Just make sure if you've seen someone for a long time, you might notice something different, something changing, and it's good to ask questions about how people are, what they're doing, and try to get to know them a little better. And if you do see something different, something wrong, if you see something, say something. And that's an important part of our job, because a lot of times we're the only person that this person sees all day. And if it was just for a few minutes, but you could see a lot from that.
Hi, my name is Nicole. I'm the site manager at Meals on Wheels in Nashua, New Hampshire. And Ed is my driver. I nominated him for a Spirit of New Hampshire award. Meals on Wheels is an organization that is primarily serving seniors. You don't have to be a senior, but it's mostly homebound people, and it helps improve people's access to healthy food. So we do provide at least one meal a day. So usually the clients are getting 5 lunches a week baseline. Some people get more depending on their need. And we rely on some paid staff, but mostly volunteers to do these deliveries for us. So Ed is really an outstanding volunteer. He is very reliable. He always shows up with a smile. He's always happy to deliver and jump in wherever he's needed. He also does often come in on days where he's not expected to help fill in, because we have been experiencing a staffing shortage. Ed makes a difference just in his commitment to the organization, first and foremost. Just that he does come in 1 or 2 days a week, which that's a lot for our volunteers. Usually people are expected to do only 1 day. He's come in 3 days a week before. And also just, I think, in his relationship building with the clients, he knows his clients very well. So he is able to notice when something changes, if there's an issue going on with the client, and the clients are always happy to see him. We had one client who I went to go deliver to on a day that he was out, and she was visibly disappointed that it wasn't Ed. Not so much that it was me, but she was visibly disappointed that it was not Ed. And she talks about Ed to like her family members and different people. So clearly he's making an impact on his clients. I think Ed just has like a really good spirit about him, and obviously has like a really good motive for volunteering. And it's just great to have volunteers like that.
I think it's a fairly important service that we do. And just the people that I work with and the people that do all the driving and the packing and preparing the food and everything else. It's just, it's just something important, but I just play a small part in that, and it's pretty easy for me to do. And like I said, I have a good time doing it.
At Meals on Wheels, we just really value our volunteers. We wouldn't be able to make it work without volunteers, because at the end of the day, if we don't have them, nobody's getting their meals if we don't have the drivers that we have. So we appreciate Ed. We appreciate all our volunteers. Go Volunteers.
Congratulations, Ed.
Congratulations, Ed. Moving on to our youth and young adult category. Now, this category features volunteers ages 22 and younger, all of whom represent a bright future for the Granite State. Jillian Barrett She's a student leader committed to social justice and educational equity who volunteers through the Mila Center for Community Engagement at St. Anselm College. Abigail Bone, working to create inclusivity for the LGBTQ plus community through the Affirming Space Project. Udi T. Gupta. Was it close on that one? Was that good? I tried. Volunteers at Dartmouth College and is passionate about the intersection of health, gender, and human rights. Allison Hochter, whose volunteer activities at the Girl Scouts included organizing a volunteer fair attended by nearly 50 different organizations. Emily Invinger, a volunteer at the Office of Community Impact at Plymouth State University, engages her fellow students to serve their community. Scout Kamarovsky displays maturity beyond her years in her work with Cover Home Repair, where she has volunteered alongside her mom for the past 6 years. Cassidy Kelly serves as a strong, committed advocate for survivors of domestic and sexual violence at Turning Points Network through the AmeriCorps Victim Assistance Program. Kate Matthews, a student leader with the pre-orientation volunteer experience in service at the University of New Hampshire, helps first-year students transition from high school to college. Sienna Mucci-Oli has been volunteering, was I close, Sienna? Yes, you were. Yes. Volunteering since she was a child. Now with Miss New Hampshire, her focus with her service is on the rights and well-being of children. Paige Watt is an AmeriCorps Vista member serving at the Nashua Police Athletic League, helping build the capacity of their volunteer programs. Melina Ziaja, once a participant at the New Hampshire Teen Institute, now volunteers with their day, overnight, and virtual programs. Finally, let's announce our outstanding winner in the Youth Young Adult category. Rachel Ujiri. Rachel volunteers year-round with the United Way of Greater Nashua, including serving United Way through the COVID Community Care Corps AmeriCorps program. Let's hear for Rachel about her service.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm from Merrimack, New Hampshire, and I volunteer with United Way of Greater Nashua. The main program that I work with United Way for is the tutoring program, and I've definitely seen how this can help both the students in our program and their families. So our program provides free tutoring to students in the Nashua School District as well as the surrounding areas, and they can meet for in-person or remote tutoring. So this has really helped our students gain a lot of confidence by being able to work one-on-one with our volunteers. So it's really grown the students' confidence. They feel like, school is not something they want to shy away from, especially after COVID, having learned remotely for so long, really getting that one-on-one attention academically to help them catch up and feel like they're in a good spot going forward has been great for them. And this especially puts the families at ease too. They want what's best for their kids. And I think this really helps them know that their kids are in good hands and they're going to come out of the challenges they faced during COVID, well, and they're going to succeed and really enjoy school.
Sarah Caesar from United Way of Greater Nashua. I've been working with Rachel since I think probably just after the beginning of COVID. So I think it was January 2021 that I've been working with Rachel. She's been working with us through AmeriCorps during the summer in 2021 and 2022, managing our school lunch distribution program that we work with the school district. Jill has been working with us primarily in our tutoring program that we call Learn United. She's been managing matching up tutors and the tutees in that program since 2021. So she's been really dedicated to that program, working a couple hours a week, 10 hours a week while she's in school. So that's been her main focus. And then during the summer, as I said, she works on matching up volunteers with the times that we need to be distributing school lunches to kids outside of schools. Rachel has made an impact within the community, a big impact basically with our tutors and with the families that receive tutoring. She's been very conscientious in making sure everybody has what they need, in responding to them, and making sure that they know that United Way really wants to make sure that the kids get the type of education that they need to succeed. Also worked with us to get our Rosie's Pantry women's hygiene cabinet together. So she was really instrumental in working on that, also figuring out what people needed and how to get the items, and then how to get the items out to the public. So she was really instrumental in that part of the program as well.
I'm helping to found Rosie's Pantry. It really showed me that if there was a difference that I wanted to see in my community and in the world in general, that I was capable of doing so with the help of other people, and really that collaboration and working together with other people who have similar ideas as you can really get a lot done. And it really just starts with taking those first steps. Even if it seems like this big project that would be very hard to accomplish, when you really just work together with other people and bounce ideas off of each other, you can really accomplish big things. I've always been a very shy and quiet person, and so being able to have this role where I'm able to take leadership and help other people has definitely grown my confidence. Knowing that if I put myself out of my comfort zone even just a little bit, that I'm able to have that positive impact on other people has really shown me that it really is worth it to get out of your comfort zone, and to be able to do things that maybe you thought you weren't capable of doing. And so this has definitely been an amazing opportunity as far as growth goes for me, being able to really see changes in myself, positive changes.
Very happy to have had Rachel working with us over these past 2 years. United Way has worked really hard to make sure the community has what it needs in various other projects. So the fact that we've had Rachel working with us, being able to work on these other really valuable projects, has allowed us to, I think, be more flexible with all of the ways that we're able to help the community. So we're very happy to have had Rachel working with us and to be able to rely on her to be a really diligent worker, and really considerate and caring in the ways that she works with the community.
Volunteering is one of my favorite things to do, even with United Way and also around my college campus. So I love it. It's great.
Congratulations, Rachel. Now for our senior category, recognizing volunteers ages 65 and older. Sister Norma Como, for more than 10 years, has devoted herself to teaching English to English language learners at the Holy Cross Family Learning Center. Susan Danforth, the founder of a street outreach distribution organization, Kindness Through Corrections, is a tireless advocate for the unhousehold community in Dover. Marie Hickey always makes her hospice patients feel comfortable and cared for through her work at Rockingham, VNA, and Hospice. Bob Kiroak, construction volunteer with Southeast New Hampshire Habitat for Humanity, brings his experience, skills, and labor of love to the homes he builds. Jackie Martell has provided 1,800 hours to the Senior Companion Program, providing companionship to nearly 15 older adults in her community. Bruce McKim, as the director of the New Boston Community Emergency Response Team, provides invaluable service to the town and support to the local emergency responders. Kim Paradise consistently gets things done for the Special Olympics of New Hampshire and has for the past 35 years. Joni Selza is a behind-the-scenes volunteer at Listen Community Services, taking care of tedious data entry with a positive attitude. Kathy Stillwell, leader of Sunrise Strummers at the Sunrise Sunset Activity Center, brings joy to participants and audiences alike. Cameron Young is dedicated to her role as team leader and home visitor through the Senior Companion Program, visiting homebound seniors and disabled adults in the Berlin-Gorham area. Finally, let's announce our outstanding winner in the senior category, Cliff Smith. Cliff displays a lifelong commitment to service. At 90 years old, still providing service for Future Insight's blind and visually impaired clients, all with kindness and respect. Let's hear from Cliff and the organization.
Hey everyone, I'm Randy Pierce, President and CEO here at Future Insight, where we provide an array of training, tools, and services to help people who are blind and visually impaired live their best lives by the way they define it.
My name is Donna Fanny, and I'm the coordinator of volunteer services at Future Insight. Future Insight volunteers provide transportation for those that need to go to eye doctors or medical doctors or grocery shopping, reading some mail, being able to organize a cupboard for them, helping them pick out clothes. We have volunteers serving on committees and advisory boards.
And I just want to take a moment to speak to Cliff Smith. He's been a great volunteer. As a client, I also have benefited from his work, including an essential ride I needed for an appointment on his 90th birthday. That's the kind of volunteer he is.
I nominated Cliff Smith this year for a Spirit of New Hampshire award because Cliff inspires others to want to do more and do better. He's loyal, he's reliable, he is passionate. He's passionate about Future Insight and the people he serves. Cliff has helped 35 individuals. Wherever a person needs to go, Cliff is there to help them.
My name is Clifford Smith. I like to be called Cliff, and I live in New Hampshire. I volunteered for Future Insight for 8 years, and I hope I can do it for another 8 years. I like volunteering because of the people that I drive. I feel the next time I take them, they're more relaxed, and it's just like we've been buddies for a long time. To me, they end up being related. My brothers or my sisters or what.
I want to thank Cliff and all his impact that he's making throughout the community, and thank all of our volunteers for doing what you do every day.
I am glad that I have volunteered for Future Insight. It's very, very rewarding. Thank you for Future Insight and Volunteer New Hampshire.
Love his spirit. All right, moving on to our final category of the evening, the coveted group category. Now, we'll be recognizing groups of 2 or more individuals who volunteer together or with the same organization. First up, volunteering together at the Southeast Land Trust, doing a little bit of everything, are their go-to volunteer group, Ernest Landry, Peter Coffin, and Walt Roy. Charlie Beddard and Joanne Gersten were nominated for this award but chose to defer it to the whole group of Fix-It Station volunteers at the Queen City Bike Collective, who all make sure that this valuable service is functional and available to their community in Manchester. The Future Insight volunteer drivers serve blind and visually impaired clients, ensuring they have transportation and are able to access essential services or go on social outings. The Greater Nashua Habitat for Humanity Build Crew, a team of volunteers who work thousands of hours to build homes for clients from start to finish. A volunteer pair from Upreach Therapeutic Equestrian Center, Greg and Nancy Noga, care for the horses and the clients, often doing more than what is asked of them. The Humane Society of Greater Nashua's Rescued Treasure volunteers run the nonprofit resale store to benefit the shelter. They care about the organization deeply. So many dogs here tonight. I love it. Happy. The International Institute of New England's refugee resettlement volunteers form deep and meaningful connections with the families who have relocated to New Hampshire, doing anything they can to make their transition easier. The Immaculate Heart of Mary 5 and 2 ministry volunteers work together to pack and deliver food to wherever they see a need, like food pantries, low-income housing, and daycares. New England Wolves Hockey brings together talented athletes to the state of New Hampshire, all who contribute to community service and volunteer programs in the areas, as well as of giving back while they're here. Roger and Cindy from Our Cornerstone in Whitefield have been involved for 15 years, serving as role models for their volunteers and never turn away someone in need. The Partnership for Public Health, CERT, and MRC teams are community-focused groups activated at the request of local public safety agencies, including for the purposes of staffing COVID vaccination clinics. Skip a page. Pemigewasset Valley Search and Rescue Team are never deterred by weather or trail conditions and always focused on their outdoor rescue missions, getting injured hikers back to safety. Last up is our outstanding winner in the category group, the Granite VNA Volunteers. They're a group of 150 who provide hospice care, respite services, project support, and much more. They display compassion and dedication, always working to enhance the dignity of their patients and families. Let's watch their highlight video.
My name is Randy McDonald. I live in Meredith, New Hampshire, and I'm one of the volunteer coordinators for Granite VNA. We're located in Concord area and in the Lakes region, and we provide hospice services and visiting nurses services in these areas. Hospice volunteers visit homes where we have a hospice family, providing comfort visits, which can range in a lot of activities within the home, respite so the caregiver can get out and go shop. We do vigils. We do just about anything we can possibly do for our hospice clients to get the best out of every day that they can.
My name is Lisa Challender, and I'm from Concord, New Hampshire, and I'm one of the volunteer coordinators at Granite VNA. Our volunteers are the total package. They're flexible, multi-talented, creative, and generous with their time, and they definitely personify our agency values, which is compassion, respect, and a culture of excellence.
I'm Donna Raycraft, and I am a volunteer with Granite VNA. What I like about being a hospice volunteer is really making a difference in people's lives and being with them in some very intimate moments, whether they are the patient who is at the end of their life or their families who are either bereaving, grieving, or getting ready for that grieving process. And just knowing that you're helping and being there with the person is very fulfilling.
David Barth, volunteer up here in beautiful New Hampshire. I've been a volunteer with hospice for 33 years, but have been up here for 10 years. One thing, just topical, that just happened recently regarding Queen Elizabeth. I was told I was going out to visit this gentleman, and he had saved Queen Elizabeth's life during World War II. And so I went to the house, and this gentleman on the wall of his house had a birthday card and a Christmas card from Queen Elizabeth since 1946. And so I was able to sit and listen to his wonderful stories. And I think that's part of it. These people get to share an important part of their lives with you. And sometimes you'll bring out a story or you'll share a story that the family's never heard or that the family's forgotten. And to have that opportunity to hear those stories is just, it's priceless, obviously.
So as a volunteer coordinator, my office door is always open, and I love it when volunteers come in and share their experiences. A lot of times they're excited, sometimes they're a little weepy and very touched by their experience. And I remember one story where we had 2 volunteers working upstairs in our hospice house here in Concord, and they had a patient that was kind of able to get up and around, and she was walking around, and she just exclaimed that she wanted some pizza. She needed a piece of pizza. And so these 2 volunteers, they planned a little pizza party. They went out and got the pizza. They sat there and ate it with her. And they just talk about that story, even with our new volunteer training, about how wonderful it was.
So many great stories about so many great volunteers over the past 11 years. But what strikes me is the fact that they will drop what they're doing and go to reach out to a hospice family instantly. I can make a call and they're there within an hour. So that's the big thing. When the rubber hits the road, they just go when they get the call.
I don't think there's anything that I've done at hospice that hasn't had a significant impact on me. One of the experiences that I had was doing respite for a family, and this was an older woman with dementia whose daughter had retired to take care of her, and the family was all very distant, and she didn't have any way to get out of the house, and she even had an infected tooth once, and she couldn't leave, and so when I came, then she could have a couple of hours a week to do errands, to make medical appointments, just to have a cup of tea with a friend. And I know that I made a huge difference in her life.
These people are strong. The fact that they're reaching the end of their lives, the way they are reaching the end of their lives, and usually with support of other strong people, it's a motivation. Like Donna says, if you can't, you just can't experience this without appreciating your days, each of your days in life. So obviously they've added so much to my life over these years. And I'll always be thankful for this experience.
And congratulations to all the volunteers honored here. Over to Gretchen for our first big announcement of the night.
Have to adjust the mic here. I'm not quite as tall as the marvelous Marissa, but I just want to thank all of you again for coming and for all of the service that you're doing in your communities. Your dedication and utilizing volunteerism as a tool to strengthen our communities. It's an honor to be here and to be able to recognize all of you and to be in your presence. So thank you. And as Marissa had said, we've come to the point in our evening where we are going to announce a very special award. I have the privilege of announcing the Spirit of New Hampshire Award. This top award, the opinion of the nomination review panel, best exemplifies the spirit of service in New Hampshire. And, drum roll, thank you. This year's Spirit of New Hampshire Award winner is Erin Joy, founder of the Uplift Foundation. Erin, would you join me up on stage to accept the award? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we just come on over for a picture, if you don't mind? Congratulations, Erin. Thank you for your service, and Is there anything that you'd like to say before we show your award video? There you are.
Yeah, I guess I'll keep this pretty brief, but just thank you so much. It's really an honor to be here, and it's such an honor to receive this award. So I'm just really grateful to Volunteer NH for presenting me with this award, and to Miss Nancy Vaughter as well for nominating me. I guess over the past few years, through all the experiences, I've had the opportunity to meet such incredible community leaders, advocates, and just other individuals around the Granite State who've dedicated their lives to service. And they've just served as such an inspiration and have taught me so much as well. I'd also just like to shout out some of the many students I've taught and I've worked with. They're fantastic. They bring such creativity and passion to all of our activities, and they're what makes this experience just so rewarding. I'd also, of course, like to give a huge thank you to my parents who've always served as a constant, just resource and, just show of support. So thank you so much. And I'd also just like to end with a real deep appreciation for Volunteer NH and the work that they do to support service around the state. Of course, during these times, it's incredibly important that, we lend a hand and we take action and we do what's possible to help fellow community members in need. And the work that Volunteer NH does to support all of that service is truly incredible. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the important work you do, Aaron, impacting students across New Hampshire and helping to support our vibrant communities of immigrants and refugees. And on behalf of everyone involved in this event, we're proud to recognize you. Thank you again and congratulations.
Hi, my name is Aaron Joy, and I'm from Dover, New Hampshire, and I founded the Uplift Foundation. We created the Uplift Foundation to try to make high-quality educational programs more accessible to young people. And we've developed a unique structure in how we offer our program. All our programs are free to ensure that they're accessible, and in addition, we pair each program with a fully optional donation that families can pay for interested in paying to. And then we donate these collected funds to other causes that support the education of young people. And so far, we've donated to Manchester schools that largely serve students from marginalized backgrounds and to youth programs in New Hampshire that serve refugee children. It's so fulfilling to hear how impactful the Chromebooks we donated were from a teacher. And she expressed how much they did to support her students both in and out of the classroom. And I think it's moments like these that give me the motivation to work even harder and inspire to do even more. We offer educational programs in subjects like public speaking, debate, essay writing, and entrepreneurship. And our goal is to make classes as engaging, interactive, and fun as possible for students, and really transform them by the end of each program.
Hey, I'm Nancy Vaughter. I'm from Dover, New Hampshire, and I proudly nominated Aaron Joy for the Spirit of New Hampshire Award. He took his experience as a polished debater and created a program that helps younger students get over that fear of public speaking, to be able to look at an issue from the other side, which in this day and age is so critical.
I think it's been just such a fulfilling experience to have the opportunity to teach such amazing young students. And through this process, I learned that the best way to enable students to learn is to just create a really engaging and interactive setting. But I recall an incident of one student who came to one of Uplift's public speaking and debate programs, really motivated, but she was understandably so nervous to public speak. And throughout the program, she was so hardworking and dedicated. And I gave her detailed feedback for improvement and worked with her to develop her confidence. And by the end of the program, she was completely transformed. And we ended each of our programs with a final debate tournament. And she did such a fantastic job and spoke with such confidence and poise and passion. And it was just so amazing to see.
I think trying to find out one area where Aaron has made a significant difference is difficult, because I know he's made an impact at his own high school. I know that he made an impact at a middle school in Manchester where he donated all those Chromebooks, and now students who didn't have access to online learning at home, even in the classroom, have that ability to do that. His impact with refugees and bringing them together to create, such an amazing event to celebrate our differences and to let refugees know that they are welcome in the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, so one area that I'm really passionate about is supporting refugees and resettled refugees in the state of New Hampshire. And earlier this year, I sent a proposal to the mayor of Manchester's office for the city to formally observe World Refugee Day, which annually falls on June 20th. And they agreed, which was fantastic news. And in addition to that formal observance, I also wanted to organize a physical celebration to really bring people from all different communities, ethnic communities, and national communities together. And really just celebrate these individuals' great resilience, courage, sacrifice, and also demonstrate just a show of support to all the folks in New Hampshire who provide so much support to these communities. So the event went incredibly well. We had a really wonderful turnout, and it was so wonderful to have everyone together and being able to just share their stories.
When I say that Aaron has the ability to step outside himself, I think that is his greatest attribute. To be able to see the world, the problems, the issues that are facing certain populations, or whether it's the refugees in our state of New Hampshire, whether it's students in need of Chromebooks or even financial assistance that he's just given to schools who really need a little bit of help. I want to publicly say that, Aaron, whatever you do in the future, you let me know. I will drop everything and I will come and work for you.
Thank you so much, Aaron, and Uplift. And we've now reached the time of the evening where we're going to have the results of our People's Choice Award voting. So I'm going to turn it over to Nazi and Marissa to make the announcement.
All right, Gretchen, thank you. And of course, thank you for your service, Gretchen. And thank you, Aaron. I think, I can speak for all of us when I say that we look forward to seeing what your bright future holds. Now, year after year, it's always clear to see that the Spirit of New Hampshire Award recipient is deserving of the recognition, and that certainly remains the case this year. There's an extensive review and voting process with a whole group of community members who work together to select the recipient in this top honor.
That said, all of the award recipients are amazing and truly embody Volunteer New Hampshire's mission of solving local challenges through volunteerism, which is why we open up public vote for the People's Choice Award.
Now, it was so much fun to have our audience's voice heard in this way, and as you know, the award is back again this year. The voting window is closed at 7 p.m. this evening, and the Volunteer New Hampshire staff has since counted up all the votes and are about to share the results with us right now. Who's ready?
So, without further ado, the 2022 People's Choice Award goes to... Thank you for that. Mary Hickey of Rockingham, VNA and Hospice. Congratulations. If you're with us tonight, please stand up so we can see you.
Way to go. Now, Maria is dedicated to her patients as well as the Rockingham VNA and Hospice organization. In addition to going above and beyond to make her patients feel comfortable and cared for, she's always ready to jump in whenever help is needed on the administrative side to ensure that things run smoothly for patients, family, and staff. Her commitment to forming deep relationships with her patients has enabled them to get the most they can from their time with the program.
Congratulations to our People's Choice Award recipient, Marie Hickey, our Spirit of New Hampshire Award recipient, Aaron Joy, and all of the award recipients this evening.
Now, each and every one of our recipients, each and every one of you provides an outstanding example of what the spirit of service can achieve in our communities, and we want to thank you all for all that you do. One more time, nice round of applause. And one final time, let's turn it back over to Gretchen and Steve.
So on behalf of Volunteer New Hampshire and everyone involved in the event, I'd like to offer my sincerest thanks and congratulations to all the award recipients, including our Spirit of New Hampshire Award recipient, Erin Joy, and the People's Choice Award recipient, Marie Hickey. We hope that you've all got your friends and family involved with this new award and had fun voting in the process. Before we conclude, we need to recognize the volunteers who helped make tonight possible. Thank you to our event chair, Erin Dupy, as well as the rest of the Spirit of New Hampshire Awards Planning Committee and our Nomination Review Committee, all who've put in so many hours to create an exciting and meaningful event. Thank you for the Volunteer New Hampshire Board of Directors for supporting us tonight and for stewarding volunteer service in New Hampshire every day. And finally, thank you to Nazi and Marissa for helping to MC our wonderful Spirit of New Hampshire Awards event. And if you all don't know Nazi and Marissa, I'm now calling them Snazzy Nazi and the Marvelous Marissa. And I just heard back in the green room that they actually were our recent recipients of the Morning Show of the Year award. So we are in the presence of greatness all around. So thanks a lot, Nazi and Marissa, for helping us celebrate this evening and really helping us to shine a light on service. And thank you to all of you. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you again to Concord TV for providing live streaming services to Volunteer New Hampshire free of cost. The full video will be made available to view after the event on YouTube and volunteernh.org. And finally, thank you to all of our sponsors and to the Bank of New Hampshire stage for the lovely event space. And to everyone in the virtual audience, we are so glad that you were able to join us this evening. Next year will mark our 20th annual Spirit Awards, and we hope to see you all for our celebration in 2023. For our in-person viewers, please head out the main entrance, take a dessert and some coffee if you would like, and awardees, please don't forget to take your gift located next to the dessert table. Thank you and good night.